Hey everyone, so last week I made a community post asking you guys to ask me any questions you want about me, the channel, Blender, or any technical or non-technical questions you had, and then I would make a Q&A video. So let's jump right in. You guys asked me some interesting questions and there were some funny questions as well, so let's cover them. So the first question, would you like to animate for other YouTubers with promising franchise? My friend who hasn't animated anything, MC Prep Studios 3.0. So we'll see about that. You can email me here, woodplankmc@gmail.com. You can tell me the details and then we'll see if we want to make a collaboration. At the moment, I have a few projects going on, nothing crazy, so you can message me and see what goes. Second question. Bro, please reveal your GF name, how old are you, and how to transform character. So I'm not going to really reveal any names because it's the internet. So about the first question, I'm not going to answer that. How old are you? I'm 24. And how to transform character. I don't know what you mean by transforming a character. Maybe you mean switching between one skin to another. And if you mean that, then you can do that inside the shader editor. You can copy the first skin and then you can use the mix shader slider. If you want to see how to do that exactly, you can see that in the screenshot. So you can copy these nodes from the screenshot and then you can use the mix shader to slide around and then change from one character to another. If you have the mix shader on 0, you're going to have one skin, and if you have the mix shader all the way up, you're going to have another skin. Is there any AI who can edit our animation, like add mob sounds, walking sounds, etc.? I don't know if there's any AI which can add sound effects, because that sounds very advanced. For now, I think you have to add your own sound effects, which is tedious, but it's worth it in the end. But I know there is some AI video editors, there's some AI video generators, there's some AIs which can cut out some silent parts from your videos. For example, if you record a large podcast or a large tutorial, I think it can cut out some stuff, but I'm not sure how it works. I've never used it personally, but I'm sure most of you have already heard about OpenAI's new release, which is Sora, which can generate super high quality realistic videos, which is awesome, but also kind of scary at the same time. And we'll see how that goes. But I don't know anything about the sound effects links to AI video editing, so I don't know. How much does a Minecraft animator get paid monthly? A good question. I'm going to tell you from my own experience because I don't know about others. So I'm going to tell you first about YouTube. So as of right now of recording this video, I'm not making anything from YouTube. I'm making 0 because I'm not monetized yet. For now, I'm making money from clients who want Minecraft animations done for their platforms. So I'm gonna tell you about that. There were some months where I made $50 or $100, but there were months where I made $500 or $700. So it's really not consistent. It depends on the client. It depends on your skill set. It depends on the price the client is willing to pay. It depends on how much the project is taking, and it depends on how much time you're willing to take for the project, and so on. It depends on many factors, but yeah, there were months where I made like 50, 100, or there were months where I made $500 or $700, and there were months where I made in between. But it's not consistent, but it's always great when you earn money from doing things you really enjoy from the comfort of your home. So I'm not complaining about that. But hopefully I can turn YouTube into my full-time job, which is what I really, really want to do. And so far, you guys are showing me a lot of support, so thank you for that. And the reason why I'm not monetized is I didn't reach the requirements yet. So in order to get monetized, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time in the last 365 days. So right now, I surpassed 1,000 subscribers, but I still need to get about 800 or 900 hours of watch time. I have about 3,100 hours of watch time. So I think I'm going to get there very soon, and hopefully I'll get monetized soon. So next we have 3 questions, which are kind of similar. So I'm going to answer them all at once. So first question is, what and how many projects do you have, and when will it be uploaded on YouTube? You really need to answer this one. That's correct. And the next question is, how do you plan on expanding your channel? And the next question is similar style is, what do you plan to do as an MC animator in the near future, and what got you dragged into it? What do you have planned for the channel in the future? Continue with the tutorials or do something else? So the way I'm planning to expand this channel is I'm going to keep making more tutorials. I have about 50 tutorial ideas written down, and I'm going to write more and more as I go on. Also, I'm planning to make an Alex and Steve series, and I want to make it like a huge series, and I'm going to release it in different parts. And I'm planning to make it in my own style. If you guys have seen my previous animations, I have like a dark fantasy style with multiple fight scenes and plot twists and all of that stuff. And I'm planning to include the Minecraft lore as well in the Alex and Steve series, because Minecraft lore to me is very, very interesting and very intriguing, because we don't really know what's happening, what happened before Steve, what's gonna happen, and all of that stuff. And I really, really want to explore that and include it in the animations. So I'm planning to make a huge series. So those are tutorial plans and my own animation parts. And also I really want to do collaborations with you guys as well. For example, I can start a collaboration idea, and then you guys can make like a 5, 10 or 20-second clip, and then I can compile them together and we can work on like one huge collab. Also want to do collaborations with other YouTubers if possible. And also, since I'm going to make an Alex and Steve series, this means that I'm going to learn a lot of stuff myself, and I'm going to share that information with you guys. And also I'm thinking to maybe start streaming as well. For example, stream my own process of making animations, so you guys can join in if you want to and see how I work, see my workflow, because some of you are interested in it. So yeah, those are my main plans for this channel. I want to work on this channel for many, many years. I want to turn this into my job, because I've been working very hard for the past few years to make animations and make tutorials, and I've been very, very active for the past 2 months, and you guys can see the results as well. And you guys are showing me a lot of support, and thank you so much. Like, it gives me a lot of motivations to create more and more videos. So it has like a snowball effect, and I realized that consistency is the key on YouTube. So I'm going to keep being consistent, and I'm going to do all the things that I mentioned. How to keep motivation to create animations for YouTube when you don't have many views. Oh, the good old small channel struggle. I can relate to this because I created my channel in 2017 or 2016, so it's been many, many years. And I used to do a lot of stuff. I used to do animations, and I used to do some tutorials here and there. But the only problem was that I was not being consistent. I was uploading once every few months. Sometimes there were years where I didn't even upload, so that's not good for YouTube. So first thing I would recommend is replace motivation with discipline, because you really got to stay disciplined when it comes to YouTube. There are some days, there might be some days where you don't want to work, but you have to work because it's YouTube and you got to stay consistent. So you got to sometimes force yourself to do animations or do tutorials or do things. And I know it doesn't sound exciting, but I'm not saying it's all days. It's going to be all days where you have to force yourself, but there's going to be some moments where you got to do that. And it's not only on YouTube, it's basically about everything in life. Sometimes you got to force yourself to do things because you have to do them. So my first advice would be to replace motivation with discipline, and also experiment with different stuff. You can, if you think some animations are taking too long, maybe make shorter animations, maybe make more trendy animations. For example, Alex and Steve seem to be doing well on YouTube, and maybe focus on other trends as well. I don't know if you're making Minecraft animation, and I jump straight to Minecraft, but if you're making Minecraft animations, do that. Also, you can make tutorials like I do, for example, because I'm helping people, I'm sharing my information, my knowledge, I'm helping other people, and also helping my channel. I'm helping myself with it, because obviously getting views and likes and subscribers, all of that stuff is great. So it's a win-win situation. So maybe you can do that as well. If you don't want to do that, then stick to animations, but make shorter animations, and then try to follow the trends and see how it goes from there. And to stay consistent, obviously. My first advice would be to stay consistent. Do you learn animation by yourself, or do you learn from a video? I learned animation from YouTube tutorials. So back in 2016, I used to watch a lot of Minecraft animation tutorials. I used to watch Blender tutorials, and I learned from them. And then I started applying on my own, and then I learned a lot of stuff by myself as well. But yeah, the first thing that helped me obviously was YouTube, because I didn't have to pay for any courses. I didn't go to any animation school or anything, and I learned everything from YouTube. Do you have any hidden talents? I kind of do. I make these 3D origami sculptures from paper. 3D origami is a Japanese art. You cut paper and then you fold it in a certain way. You make these small pieces, which are called triangles, and then you connect them together, and then you make these huge creatures or objects and so on. And I've been making them since I was like 12 years old, and I really enjoy doing it whenever I have free time. So these things you can see on the screen were made by me, and I might do some other stuff in the future as well. Right now, I'm making about 30,000 triangles, and I'm planning to make a huge dragon. And I might film that. I might post it on TikTok or Instagram. If I do, I'm going to keep you guys updated. If any of you are interested, feel free to let me know. So yeah, I guess that would be my hidden talent. Other than that, I can't think of anything special. 60% keyboard or 100% keyboard. If you're asking me for Blender, I recommend 100% keyboard, because I use 100% keyboard, and it's actually nothing special. I think I use like a $10-15 keyboard, which is 100%. It has the numpad, it has the F keys, and it helps a lot with Blender, because you can use the shortcuts like numpad 0, 3, 7, 1 to go to top, side, and front view. You can use the F keys, F11, F12 to go to the render view and so on. But if you're asking me about gaming, I don't know. I know a lot of gamers are using 60% keyboard, but I'm not a huge gamer myself, so I cannot give you advice about that. But for Blender, I recommend 100% keyboard. What's your PC specs? As of right now, in February 2024, I have a GTX 1660 GPU, I have 16 gigabytes of RAM, and I have i5 7th generation. I believe it's i5 7500 with 4 cores. And I have like 1.5 terabyte and all that stuff, which is not really important. The most important things I think you're asking for: GPU, CPU, and the RAM. And I really hope to upgrade my GPU soon. Even my CPU, but I don't complain about my CPU because i5 is great. But GTX 1660, although it's a great GPU, I need like an RTX video card because I'm planning to do more animations in the future, so I'm going to render more. So hopefully I'll get it soon. Does animation get you girls? I am not desperate. I don't know. I don't know if animation alone can help you get girls, because there is so much more you gotta have in order to get girls, in my opinion. So I don't know about that. But I know there's one video on the internet. I'm sure most of you guys have seen it. It's about how this guy proposed to a girl using this Disney animation. So he remade a Disney animation. I think it was Sleeping Beauty. And he remade the Sleeping Beauty to match basically him proposing to his girlfriend, which is so funny. And it's so awesome. Whenever I see this video, I get so happy. And I'm gonna leave that video in the description so you guys can check it out. Like, it was maxed out wrist, like bro had maxed out wrist, because it was awesome. But I don't know if he made the animation or if he had a team, or I don't know about that, but it was basically him proposing using a remade animation, which was awesome to see. How to save animation loop like pose library. I'm not sure how you can do that. I had multiple comments about it, and I don't know how you can do that. Maybe there is a way. If you guys know, leave a comment down below. But what I do is I create a separate Blender file. I save only one character in that Blender file. I save it as a collection, and then I import that new collection into my new scene, which I'm animating in, and then I copy those character keyframes and then insert it into a new character. So that's what I do. Hi bro, please tell me your PC budget. My PC budget, I think when I first bought it in 2019, I paid in dollars, it was about $400. And then over the years, I did some small upgrades, which cost me about $300 or less. So in total, it's like $700 across like 4 or 5 years. Is it true that you have been animating for 7 years? How old are you then? Well, like I said, I'm 24. And yes, I've been animating for 7 years. I started in 2016. I think it was also late 2015, I'm not sure. But the only thing is I wasn't being consistent in some years because I had studies, I had a full-time job. So it wasn't like a consistent 7 years. Like there are some years where I only animated for a few months. There were some years where I was very active. There were some years where I was inactive, but overall I was still animating. So yeah, it's been about 7 years, and hopefully I'll get to continue animating more and I'll continue to earn a profit from it because I really, really enjoy doing it. How can you export a world which is like separate blocks? For example, one mesh just for grass, one mesh just for stone. I don't know what you mean, but do you mean exporting it from Mineways? I'm not sure, but if you want to import a world in Blender which has like separate blocks, well, and it's not like one big chunk, I think you should do that from the MC Prep. You can open MC Prep and click on OBJ world import. Because if you do file, import, and wavefront OBJ, I think it's going to import one big chunk. So I'm not sure. You can leave a comment down below and I can respond to it. Next, we have a technical question again. How can we edit BPS of version 4? For example, character have one hand, character having one hand as just a pirate hand. I'm not sure how to do that. I've never done that for my own animations, so I don't know. But if you guys know, then leave a comment down below to help out. Next question. My character has no eyes. Is there a way to remove the movement for the eyes or just make pupils and eyes all white since he is all white? I think you can remove the eyes from the BPS rig. You can select the material icon, click on N to bring out the side panel, go to item, and then use the sliders to make them 0 or 1, and you can make the eyes disappear that way as well. So you can do that. I'm going to leave a link in the description. I was talking about how to make the eyes glow, but I also mentioned how you can do this thing you mentioned. So I'm going to leave a link for that video in the description as well. How do we get a collab with you? Good question. You can message me on this email, woodplankmc@gmail.com. You can message me your collab details, and then we'll see from there. Can we use Blender rig in Maya software? If it's working, please tell me how to use for Maya software. I watch your all the videos and it's very helpful. Thank you very much. I'm glad it's helpful. And I've never used Maya, and I don't know how you can export and import things between Blender and Maya, so I cannot answer that question properly. So I don't know. I know people export rigs as an FBX format, and I don't know if you can import FBX format in Maya, but if you can, then you can use the FBX format to export it and import it between the two softwares. Best laptop for animation under budget for Indians. I only had one laptop in my life and I sold it in like 1 or 2 months, so I'm not really good with laptops, but I know that Asus ROG Republic of Gamers is very good. A lot of people, a lot of gamers or render artists or animators are buying it, but there are other brands as well. I think mainly you gotta look at the specs of the laptop, what it has, which GPU does it have, which CPU does it have. But if you're talking about a budget laptop, I'm not sure which one would be great, because budget laptops usually don't have a GPU and they have a CPU, so you gotta rely on your CPU, in which case it's gonna increase your render times, it's gonna be a bit laggy. But in that case, you can also use Eevee, so I'm not sure. But I know that Asus and Acer, Lenovo, HP, they all have great laptops. So you mainly want to look at the specs. So you mainly want to look what's the CPU in there, is there any GPU there, and how many RAMs it has. 8 or 16 gigabytes should be fine. So hopefully that answers the question. But if you guys know any other budget laptops, then be sure to leave a comment down below and let's help out. It would be nice if you explain how to make every single movement that make realistic the Minecraft characters, like a jump or a roll, etc. I might do a jump tutorial or a backflip tutorial, so stay tuned for that, but I'm not sure when I will make it. But the thing I would advise you is, if you don't want to wait for my tutorials, just watch some references. Like, references are the key. So you can watch videos, references, but you can also watch people. And I know that sounds creepy. Don't just sit down outside and absorb people like a stalker, but you can absorb how people move, you can absorb what they do, and then you can apply them in your own animations in a non-creepy stalker way, obviously. So you can do that. And you can watch the references, download the references, slow it down, and then you can follow along and then animate it as you go on. But I might make a tutorial about that, so we'll see. Can you make a full Blender MC animation tutorial and get the best render settings for both high-end PCs and low-end PCs? I already made a full Blender Minecraft animation tutorial in 5 parts. I explained everything from like basics of Blender, lighting, animation, rendering, even video editing. So I will leave a link for that in the description. And I'm not planning to make any other series like that, but I explained everything you need to know there. And then from those videos, you can apply some stuff on your own and then change some settings. But everything you need to know should be in those settings. And if it's not there, then you can leave a comment on those videos and I will respond. I read every single comment, so you can comment down below. But first, be sure to check out those videos. I know they're long videos, but I'm sure it will be worth it for you if you're interested in Minecraft animations. How have you learned all about MC animation in Blender? I learned about MC animations by watching YouTube tutorials and then applying those stuff on my own. How did you come up with the idea of doing these tutorials? I don't really know. I think my friend once told me, hey, why don't you make a tutorial? And I thought, I don't know, I'm not that good myself, so why would I make a tutorial? But then I thought about it and I made like this one fight animation tutorial, which is basically my most viewed video at the moment. And it has a very poor audio quality, but people still enjoyed it. From there, I thought maybe I can make more tutorials. And I made a few more tutorials. Then they did well. Some of the tutorials did way better than my animations, which was very surprising for me. So I kept making more and more tutorials. And for the past 2 months, starting from like December 2023, I became very, very active. And the results are awesome. You guys are showing me a lot of support. My channel has like very, very rapid growth. It formed from basically like a flat line all the way to high stonks, which is very awesome. And yeah, the main idea was basically my friends telling me to make tutorials and I just did it. Full Minecraft animation tutorial stepwise playlist, please. Again, I have a Minecraft animation tutorial. I will leave a playlist down in the description. It has 5 parts and it covers everything you need to know. It's about Blender 4.0, but you can also use the same techniques in Blender 2.8 plus, like Blender 2.8, Blender 3, 3.5, and so on. How do you do particle effects? For example, shadowy aura around a person like black smoke, stuff, or electricity sparks. To be honest, I'm not that great with particles myself. I usually go on YouTube, search for some particle tutorials and apply them. And I don't know about the black smoke stuff. Some people ask me about how to do the null smoke effect, but I've never done it before, so I cannot give any proper advice about it. But if I figure it out, I will make a tutorial about it. I bought a boombox online and I have trouble loading it into Blender. Maybe a tutorial of outside things brought into Blender. I don't know how you can do that. I think the best way would be to 3D model it and then texture it. Basically follow a product modeling and product rendering procedure. There are some very good modeling channels out there. For example, my favorite is Arian. He explains a lot of product modeling, product animation, and product rendering tutorials, but you can also check out other channels as well. But I don't know about how 3D scanning works. I don't know how you can import real things into Blender outside of 3D modeling. So I already know the best way would be to 3D model it, which sounds tedious, but if you want to do that, I think it's worth it. How long does it take for your animations to render? And have you ever had any obstacles with rendering? Well, I had, and I'm still having a lot of obstacles with the rendering, because as you all know, it takes a lot of time to render. So my scenes take about 1 or 2 minutes per frame, depending on how large the scene is. If I have a lot of particles and a lot of characters, sometimes it could go up to 3 or 4 minutes, which is insane. So if I have like a 5 or 7 minute animation with thousands of frames, I'm gonna have to render for a few weeks. Sometimes it could take up a month or even more than a month. So yeah, hopefully that answered the questions. And my main obstacles are sometimes maybe I forgot to change something in the scene and then I realized it's bad. And my biggest obstacle by far was rendering Abandoned Village, which I released a few weeks ago. So actually I made Abandoned Village 1 year ago. So last February, I finished animating it. I started rendering it, but by that time my hard drive started having issues. And then when I imported my animation into DaVinci Resolve, it showed me these weird media errors, like media offline errors, which meant that some frames were missing. And they weren't missing in an order, like there were random frames missing from random places, which was very annoying. And I just left it. I couldn't continue because I had a full-time job and I couldn't take like proper time to sit down and reanimate and re-render things. But eventually I did it. I did it like last month. I fixed all the renders, which took some time, but I think it was worth it. And you guys also enjoyed the animation. So those are my main obstacles. But hopefully I can get an RTX, at least RTX 3060 video card. Like it's one of the dreams of mine to get a very good GPU. And hopefully I can avoid some of these obstacles. So yeah, rendering is tedious as you all know, but it's a part of the process and we gotta do it. What do you think of Minecraft trailer style? Do you mean Minecraft animations in a movie trailer style? If you mean that, I really, really love them. My personal favorite is Warlords by Ninja Charlie T, and of course Mega Walls, again by Ninja Charlie T. Like those are my very big inspirations to start making Minecraft animations, and I love Minecraft animations in trailer style. And actually, I also worked with Armor Stand Productions. I had a collaboration with them, and we made a Five Nights at Freddy's trailer in Minecraft. I'm gonna leave a link for the video in the description, and I'm gonna also make a breakdown and a behind the scenes video for that, and I think it will come out soon. So stay tuned for that, and be sure to check out the video in the description if you want to see the Five Nights at Freddy's trailer in Minecraft. Can you make a thumbnail tutorial like for your animation? I am gonna make a thumbnail tutorial, but I gotta admit that sometimes I get lazy and I underestimate the power of thumbnails, so I don't spend too much time on my own thumbnails. And I made a community post. Some of you guys have already seen it. Eagle Studio made a very cool thumbnail for my Abandoned Village animation, and I'm also going to leave a link for the channel in the description. You can check out Eagle Studio. They have great animations and they also have great thumbnail making skills. But yeah, I will also make a thumbnail tutorial, and I will also make better thumbnails on my own, and I'm not going to be lazy while working on the thumbnails anymore. How to add highlights into characters. What does scripting look like when animating an animation? So I don't know what you mean by the first question, how to add highlights into the characters. Do you mean like an outer glow, outer particles? I'm not sure, so I cannot answer properly. And about the second question, for me, scripting looks like basically I sit down, I write down my own ideas about what I want to do in the animation. Then I write down the characters, the character names. Maybe sometimes I write down the backstory of the characters, and then I start writing the entire story. I write the entire script, and then sometimes I write the bullet points of what I need to do in different scenes. So it doesn't look like a professional movie script, but it works for me. So I recommend you guys do the scripting which works the best for you. Next question. What's your name? What's your age? Where are you live? And how you become an animator? And can we be friends? So first question, what's your name? Again, I'm not going to reveal any names today. I don't want to reveal my own name at the moment. You can call me Woodplank, Woody, or Wood, as some people call me. What's your age? I'm 24, and I live in Georgia. Georgia is a small and beautiful country, and it's not a state. I'm talking about the country named Georgia because some people confuse the two. But yeah, I live in Georgia. And how I became an animator, I just got inspired from different animations and movies, and then I started watching tutorials on YouTube, and then I started applying the stuff on my own. I made my own animations, and yeah, that's how I became an animator. And can we be friends? Sure, of course. Can we add like modifiers for like separate materials? I don't know how you can add modifiers for materials. I know you can add modifiers for meshes while modeling, but I don't know about materials. Maybe you mean something else, so I'm not sure. Then we have a heart from Almo. Thank you very much. I'm gonna heart this. And the next question, I would really appreciate a tutorial about all kinds of Minecraft specific particles, like when walking or eating or something. I know what you mean by that, and those are very, very cool details you notice in the game or you notice in some of the animations. And I might make a tutorial about that, but I can't make any promises for now. But yeah, if it involves Minecraft and Blender, then why not? Yeah, I will make it. Next question, what motivates you to make animations? So the first thing that motivates me is I love storytelling. I really enjoy telling stories. Ever since I was a kid, I used to write some poems and short stories to tell the stories which were in my own head. And then I wanted to apply that and bring it on the screen. So Minecraft animation, the Blender basically allow me to do that. And that's a big motivation. And another thing is money, obviously. Let's be honest, we all want to make money from animating or from doing the creative stuff. So we got to learn how to monetize this. And yeah, those are two big motivations. And yeah, I just really enjoy doing it. I especially enjoy if I earn a profit from the thing that I enjoy from the comfort of my home. So that's a big motivation for me. And another motivation is obviously I really want to support my friends and family members with what I have. So whenever I feel lazy, I remind myself to get up and do what needs to be done, because I'm not only doing this for myself, but I'm doing this for others as well. So yeah, those are my biggest motivation. And when will you make a composition tutorial and lighting tutorial? I'm not sure, hopefully soon. The only problem is I'm not the best at lighting. I only do like basic composition, but I am gonna make a tutorial about that. I can't give a specific timeline, but I'll try to do it soon because I have many tutorials planned. I have many requests, so we'll see how it goes. So yeah, those were the main questions you guys asked, and hopefully I answered them in detail. If you have any more questions, then leave a comment down below and I'll respond to it. Also leave a comment for all the questions which I couldn't answer, so you guys can help each other out. Also, check out the description for multiple videos I mentioned. You can check out the 5 Nights at Freddy's trailer in Minecraft. You can check out the guy proposing to his girlfriend. Some of you were interested in Minecraft animation tutorial. You can check out those beginner series in the description. And yeah, thank you so much. I had fun answering these questions. There were some very, very cool questions. And as always, thank you so much for all your support. And I'm going to keep making more videos. I'm going to keep making tutorials and animations. I'm going to do collaborations with you guys and with other creators as well. And I want to turn this into my full-time job. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I will see you in the next video.